The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 9 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships from Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Kia, and Nissan, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Greece, Penfield, Fairport, and Canandaigua. Online at visionauto.com. Hello everyone, and thanks again for joining us at the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Every week at this time, we take a comprehensive look at sports in Section 5 of Monroe County. We begin with our honor roll of high school teams. Basketball season, tournament season is upon us. So at number 3, we have Aquinas boys basketball. The Little Irish capped an 18-0 regular season with a merciless 72-27 win over McQuaid. Jalen Pickett scored 16. Number 2, Greece Athena hasn't missed a beat since losing guard Jay Sarkis at 4-0 without him. Spreading it around a bit, Anthony Lamb, Peter Florin, and Sean Gaines each scored 13 in an 18-0 season-ending win over Hilton. And at number 1, the only unbeaten girls team in all of the section is Rush-Henrietta. The 18-0 Comets finished with a victory over Penfield. Sarah Sweezy led the way with 18 points. Which brings us to Penfield, where the second most decorated wrestler in Monroe County resides. He wrestles in the shadow of Yianni Diakomihalis. Even though Frankie Gissendanner has never actually faced the Hilton sophomore, Diakomihalis, who hasn't lost since he was a 7th grader, wrestled his way up from 99 pounds. He won the 126-pound weight class this year. Gissendanner, a year younger than Yianni, has always been bigger. Frankie is the 138-pound super sectional champion and, like Diakomihalis, is undefeated this year.
Frankie is a wrestler who's one of the most talented kids we've seen come through right now. He blends a great sense of competitive nature with skill and technique, and he's the whole package. He really is.
How about as a kid?
As a kid, I've always said I think he's a better kid than he is a wrestler, and obviously he's one heck of a wrestler, but great personality, great manners. I mean, mom and dad are great people. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Gissendanner sorted through his athletic options early.
Well, I played like basketball at first at 8 years old, and then I started out with football. I started playing football, and then when I was playing basketball, the football coach came to one of my basketball games. He was like, "You should quit basketball and just play and wrestle." And so I tried out wrestling, and then ever since then I just kept wrestling.
So the football coach told you should wrestle?
Yeah, he told me I should wrestle, and I was like, all right, I'll try it.
Because he's got to know that guys that wrestle, very few of them, it seems to me, that wrestling is their second sport. If they wrestle, that's what they want to do.
Yeah, I didn't really know when I was younger what I wanted to do because I was like 8, 9. I was kind of like immature a little bit, so I just wanted to I tried it out, that's all.
Finding quality competition for an elite wrestler is a problem. Kids like Gissendanner don't find a lot of it locally. Frankie wrestled Mike Cellini of Webster Thomas in the super sectional semis. They'd met earlier this year, and Gissendanner dominated. Cellini, though, frustrated Frankie enough in this one to carry the match to a second round. Gissendanner pinned him, but walked away disappointed in the effort.
You know, this is supposed to be a fun game, and sometimes we're intense as coaches. Frankie needs to learn to have fun just like the rest of them and go out and enjoy the experience as well. So, you know, for me, it's a little more calming effect. I don't know if you heard, I tell him to smile all the time and appreciate your time out on the mat because he's such a competitor. Sometimes he forgets just to enjoy the experience.
Part of the problem, if indeed it is a problem, is that Gissendanner is aiming high, very high.
Honestly, I want to be in like the 2024 Olympics and then try to win like 4 NCAA titles and hopefully the state titles and like the national titles will come along.
That's all. Nothing like shooting high, right?
Yeah. I just want to I want to be the best.
Up next, blind justice in Brockport, when the Vision Automotive Group's high school sports beat continues. Welcome back to the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Time now for our honor roll of high school athletes. At number 3 this week, it's Hilton Hockey's Jake Palumbo. Scored the hat trick and added an assist in a quarterfinal tournament win over Spencerport. Number 2, welcome to the 1,000 Career Point Club, Mara Sindoni. The Canandaigua senior eclipsed the mark by scoring 26 in a win over Brighton. And at number 1, they finally held the 3-time postponed boys Section 5 bowling championships. Rush-Henrietta's Hunter Barber posted the high 6-game series with a 12-19. Fairport won the team title. Dominic Volo was high man with a 10-52. Greece Arcadia claimed the Class B crown. Which brings us to the pool in Brockport, where if we've learned anything, is that rules are rules, and they definitely weren't made to be broken. It was reminiscent of the Aquinas football situation from last fall. Quarterback Jake Zembak, who'd been injured, was declared ineligible for not having suited up in enough games during the regular season. Aquinas forfeited the postseason game he played in, and its season was done. There was no attempt to deceive. The situation could easily have been avoided with a simple doctor's note. No harm, no foul? Not really. Fewer than 4 months later, Brockport found itself under similar circumstances. Swim coach Scott Stepanek got his relay lineup cards confused in the sectional preliminaries. There was no advantage gained, no attempt at deception, but rules are rules. Hands were tied. That seemingly innocent mistake cost 2 of the Blue Devils' top swimmers a place in the sectional finals.
It was terrible. I was on the side crying, actually, but my teammates came along and helped me cope, which I got like really good teammates. They're really nice to me, and they just helped me through this.
Brandon Amthor is a sophomore distance swimmer. He'd have competed for sectional honors in the 200 and 500. Senior Nick Olson is quite simply one of the top sprinters in the state. His missing sectionals almost certainly cost him titles in the 50 and the 100, and a likely Swimmer of the Meet trophy.
You know, it was upsetting. It really was. It was upsetting, but again, what can you do about it? So we just, there was like I said, the 5 minutes that I was upset for, and then I walked out of the pool, and as soon as I walked back in, it was, I went back over and I wanted to make sure that the guys that were swimming again, make sure that they're all pumped up for their races, and I went over and tried focusing on them.
Resilience was forced on the athletes. It was tougher on the coach.
I would say the 24, 48 hours afterwards were very tough. Coming to practice the following day after it had happened was pretty therapeutic. The guys were already joking around about it, which, that's their way of, I think, showing me that they're okay with what happened in their own way.
We're making jokes about it now. It's in the past, and we can, we joke around about it all the time. So,
like what kind of jokes?
Oh man. Well, let's see. There'd be Nate the other day. Looks over at Coach. He goes, "Coach, you know how we know that you're not Santa?" Coach goes, "I don't know. You definitely did not check your list twice."
The swimmers are still in the pool this week. Both had individually qualified for states and will also swim in the relays for Brockport. That proved the silver lining.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And that's very important for the in-season qualifying that we are able to do. In the event that something happens at sectionals or a kid gets sick, they still have the state meet if they made that in-season qualifying time.
Coming up next are Making the Grade segment, and later on, the Section 5 Indoor Track Championships, when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
Welcome back, and thanks for watching the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for our Making the Grade segment, where we honor high school athletes for their performances both on and off the field.
This week we head out to Churchville, where Kevin Dick is honored for making the grade. Kevin is a sophomore and cross-country runner at Churchville Chile High School. His excellent grades and outstanding work ethic are what allow him to shine in the classroom. Kevin was nominated by his varsity coach Paul Glore for his display of leadership and teamwork as a sophomore on the team. The reason Kevin has such great awareness when it comes to guiding his peers is due to his work with the Boy Scouts of America. Through the organization, Kevin dedicates time to his community and helping others succeed. His volunteer work is carried out through various organizations throughout the year. He also serves as a role model to kids and other troops throughout the Rochester area. After school, you can find Kevin flaunting his musical side. A member of the pit band in Churchville's jazz band, he's a man of many instruments. His specialty? The trombone. For his community outreach and accomplishments in the classroom, this week we honor Churchville's Kevin Dick for making the grade.
If you have a nomination in mind, we want to hear from you. You can contact us at info@classywolf.com. Now here's Bill with a look at this week's Section 5 calendar.
Here's a look at the Section 5 calendar beginning Sunday with the championship hockey tripleheader at RIT. The Class B sectional finals are at 3:15, the Double B at 5:15, the Class A Section 5 finals at 7:30. The big basketball party really gets underway on Tuesday and Wednesday. There are 5 Section 5 boys tournament semifinal games being played each of those days at the Blue Cross Arena. It'll be equally as busy at the BCA over the weekend with 6 championship games on Saturday and another 4 on Sunday. The Class AA title game, the Big Boys, plays out Saturday night at 9 o'clock. The girls' semifinal games are Monday and Tuesday with the finals on Friday night at times and sites to be determined. 2 state championships will be contested over the weekend. The indoor track and field championships are at Cornell and Ithaca Saturday. The bowlers will compete statewide Saturday and Sunday at Strike and Spare Lanes in Syracuse, some of what you should consider taking in this week. We head out to RIT for our All Sports High School Game of the Week when the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat continues. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us for the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. The Section 5 Track and Field Championships are held out at RIT and featured a first-time, 3-time champion. It's our All Sports High School Game of the Week. Many of the top athletes here have more ambitious expectations than a sectional indoor track and field title. But the first in a 3-step process that culminates in the States is a very good place to start. The stars here rarely lose. Their success and failures are measured mostly by ticks of the clock and fractions of ticks. Nowhere is that margin more thinly sliced than in the 55-meter sprint. In girls Class B, Wilson Satin Holmes ran the 55 in 7.55 seconds, a 50th of a second faster than Tion Buckman of Eastridge, and leading an impressive field of Wildcat sprinters who placed 1, 3, 4, and 7 in the event. In Class A, it's all about Rush-Henrietta. Lene Tava-Thomas and Tori Thompson finished first and second, the same order they each placed in the long jump competition. On the boys' side, it was Wilson again, with Kelly Brown outracing a couple of Arcadians, Byron Hurst and Xavier McGee. You get 10 points for the team score with a win, 8 for second and 6 for third. Those 14 points helped Greece Arcadia win the boys' Class B team title. The fastest runner here was McQuaid's Amari Lawrence.
Really basically on your start, I made sure I had to stay low, and the 2 guys right next to me, Miles and Daquan, they're really fast, so I know I had to get out pretty fast to get a lead and stay in front of them.
Lawrence was a 50th of a second ahead of a quartet of Comets. Rush-Henrietta finished 2nd through 5th and placed 8 of the top 15. But Lawrence, in 6.64 seconds, was the fastest of the day. The ongoing success of the Rush-Henrietta program was on full display and was never so evident than in the 300-meter run for the girls. The Comets raced 3 of their most talented in the 300. They swept with the top 3 finishes. Sammy Watson, Tavid Thomas, the sprint and long jump champ, finished 1 and 2. And Sammy's older sister, Sierra, who wound up winning the 600, was 3rd. The sister act also teamed up to win the 4x400 relay. Sammy, just a sophomore, is on the verge of national acclaim. She doesn't even consider the 300 her top event.
I like starting off with like the longer distance first and working down. I just feel like the 1,000 was like a warm-up for the 3, and yeah, it was fun.
Is one more your natural event, do you think?
Yeah, I think the 1,000 is my more natural event.
Watson won the 1,000-meter run by just over 10 seconds, ahead of yet another Comet, Lexi Peters, a 9th grader. The 300-1,000 run combination is so unusual that no other runner here so much as attempted both. Among the hurdlers, Anthony Clark of Gates Chili is the best. He's still relatively new to the event. Can't even tell you much about it. He just wins.
I started running indoor last year, so I practiced a little more and more every day, just getting better, then it became natural.
I know you've got a number of events you run. Is this the one now you're trying to focus on a little bit?
Yeah, of course. I'm trying to really, especially for college, because a lot of colleges are interested in me in this, so just keep getting better at this.
If there's a small collection of athletes whose ability competes with the Rush-Henrietta female runners, it's the Hilton girls pole vaulters. Zoe Camilacci won the event at 11.6. The cadets placed 3 of the top 4, the product of an energetic, sport-specific coach.
Very stylized event. We have a lot of training, gymnastic training, a lot of stuff we do in the weight room, and it is a culmination of all that training that really makes these great vaulters. And the nice thing about this event too is all these vaulters are jumping together. Whether it's any of the teams that are here, they're always supporting each other, trying to jump higher, and just putting so much effort, so much time into the event, but we all love it.
In an event of this scope, there are many stories, but few more impressive than Jimmy Shi's. The Webster Schreoeder Sr. established himself as the area's top triple jumper. His sectional winning jump was 5 feet clear of the field.
The most important thing is trying to figure out your body mechanics, and it's more about technique than anything. So unlike certain events such as long jump where you could be very good simply by powering through it, something like triple jump really requires solid technique and form in order to pull off these good jumps, or else you end up hurting yourself.
Shih was also the favorite in the long jump and won that event with relative ease by almost 3 feet. The surprise came in the high jump, where as a newcomer, he cleared 6 feet and won that event too. It was Shih's first sectional title in the high jump. Actually, the firsts were all firsts.
A funny thing is I've actually never won sectionals before. I've always come so close or just lost by half an inch here or there, but I guess winning all 3 is just, paying off for all the just tiny misses I made.
Greece Arcadia and Mercy were the Class B winners. In Class C, it was the Greece Olympia boys and the Batavia girls. We'd like to thank the dealerships of the Vision Automotive Group. They make the Sports Beat possible, as do you. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week.